na siya. Teka lang. Nag-click lang ako eh. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our virtual event for the month. Thank you for taking time to learn a little bit more about Pardot, and hopefully this session will increase the interest in learning Pardot. So for today, we will be viewing a video, an excerpt from the first ever ParDreamin event. This was in 2020, and this was an event set up by Sercante, and basically they pulled in everyone who had interests in marketing and specifically using Pardot. And there were several videos telling how Pardot and Salesforce can work together, how Pardot can make your CRM experience with Salesforce fuller and improving your sales processes. So without further ado, let me switch over to our video, and we'll be viewing this video of Christina. So without further ado, let's watch this video.
Alrighty, the broadcast has started. You're live now. Presentation. And let me click on the present so it's big and wide. Perfect. My name is Christina Alexandra, and without boring you with all the titles and accomplishments that you can see probably anytime on my LinkedIn profile, I will better share how I actually feel about who I am. And honestly, as being a Pardot consultant, most of the times I feel I would actually be a Pardot version of Sherlock Holmes, as on a daily basis, I'm working with large public and heavily regulated institutions, and usually they share with me more clues and hints than actually give me answers to what they really want and need. So as a Pardot consultant, most of my focus actually goes towards investigating issues and finding solutions or way out. And in today's session specifically, I would like to talk about the why online marketing channels are nowadays so important, and what are the latest marketing online trends, because they change, and they, especially this year, they changed tremendously. We know that all. The what are the challenges we are currently facing in 2020 online world? The tools, of course, what features of Salesforce and Pardot we should enable and use to eliminate our marketing challenges and gray areas that a lot of us, I guess, have, and the how, the recommended actions and solutions. And this is where you can start, I guess, taking screenshots of my screen to know what you can do tomorrow. So what is happening now in the marketing world and why I want to talk about it? So the advertising landscape has changed beyond recognition over the past decades. Do you agree? I personally think it has been a huge shift. The digital channels now are accounting for more than half of total ad spend, and strong growth of social media, video, e-commerce, and search over the past 10 years has came to an expense of more traditional channels, as we may still use and remember that are TV and print. And in the number 1 point on the red line, we can see the sharp decline in TV ad spend over the recent years that has actually coincided, with the rise of social media that we now, for the most of us, for businesses we use, and online video campaigns. And experts predict that TV consumption will continue to fall in the coming years, and the social media and all the marketing campaigns that we're running on them will be even more impactful. In the number 2 on the white line, we can see the newspaper and magazine ad spend both peaked before financial crisis, but since then actually have never came back. And in the point number 3 on the blue line, we can see the rise of search campaigns continuing to rise only in the recent years, and it has been meteoric. And the data showing online consumption actually has doubled since the start of pandemic. And search growth is likely to continue only to grow with all the new apps like TikTok, etc., that are coming. And obviously, our task as a marketers is A, to figure out how we can use these platforms effectively for our businesses, and B, to be able to prove us using these platforms, we actually need to know how to track them, right? So that's the challenge. So what does it all mean for us all marketers out there? And based on the Salesforce latest marketing report, we can learn that obviously, marketers are meeting the challenges by increasing and trying to increase their adoption of various digital touchpoints. And search engine marketing, customer communities, and mobile apps are experiencing particularly dramatic increase in use. So in my presentation today, I want to focus on some specific use cases in how you can smartly utilize your existing Salesforce and Pardot tools to know where your ROI is coming from, and to find which are actually the most profitable marketing channels where you should invest your and your team's energy and time. Sounds like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me. So in the following slides, I want to share with you some more technical capabilities of Pardot that you can use to shed more light on actual numbers that your marketing team is bringing to the business from executing their campaigns on social platforms. And first, I would like to begin with solutions that we have for Pardot. And when I say solutions, these are actually all fantastic out-of-the-box things and features that you have in Pardot, and you should set up if you have not already. And these are Pardot connectors, Pardot campaign tracking code, Pardot page actions, Pardot custom redirects, Pardot social posts, Pardot file form and list send completion actions, and also engagement program actions, rules, and triggers that you can effectively use and are there for you. And as a first scenario that I often discuss and set up with the businesses that I work with are the trail of cookie crumbs, we can call it. Because to Pardot, at first, all your website visitors will be always anonymous users, right? And here is the moment where we can use Pardot tracking code and Google Analytics tracking code to actually help your website start tracking all of these visitors, because they can find you through Google search, by referral link, or social post, or even typing your URL into a browser. And while interacting with your site, visitors might take obviously various actions, click on a specific links, view your pricing page, or download white paper. And unless they actually convert to a prospect by giving you their email address and any other identifying information you may ask, there is no way how you can directly interact with them, right? So the good news for you are that you can place the Pardot and Google Analytics tracking code on your website header. So Pardot can track your visitor interactions, activities, even while they are pre-converted, and by adding a tracking cookie to their browser when they first visit your website. So Pardot will then continue tracking your visitor activities while they navigate through your website and interact with your marketing materials. And to make sure in all cases all is tracked, you should also optimize and utilize Pardot's tracking opt-in pop-up on your site. And it's very easily can be set up in your Pardot. So the prospect, when they actually confirm, they are fully tracked, but even if they ignore, you will know that they have been visited to your website, only you won't be able to see those specific pages that they visit. So this would be that first kind of Pardot magic that is available for you to use. And here's actually the proof for the pudding that I was just explaining. So here, for example, on the bottom, I have made it kind of from least green to more green. We can see that this prospect first was cookied on the April 30th, then he came back on the July 15th, 16th, 23rd, 30th, and then only on the 2nd September they decided, oh, I actually want to convert because I want to get, for example, this specific white paper from this brand. And from that point on, we actually then knew who this person was. We sent to them a double opt-in email if that's obviously required also for your company, and then all of the rest actions that they clicked on the website, all the links, pages, everything was tracked. So that's the magic of Pardot and Google Analytics that we should obviously all utilize, because it's there as soon as you purchase your Pardot account. The second gray area that for in many cases that I see Pardot marketers actually kind of miss out is actually the email forwarding. And it's obviously its ability for you to report on prospects that came to the business through their colleagues or friends, depending on the matter of the business you're in. And forwards in the old world also, we can call them kind of as word of mouth, but technically they just forwarded the email. And because technically there is obviously nothing stopping the prospect to simply use the default Outlook or Gmail feature to forward the email, but I believe we marketers, we need to be smarter than them, and we need to come up with some visual cues that can help them to do what we actually want them to do. And one of the solutions that many times I have helped businesses to implement is actually to have that specific CTA button or link that will going to be very inviting for the prospect in the email template, where they would, when by taking this action, they can simply have a small form, hey, invite your friend or colleague, just enter their name, enter their email. And whenever they actually do that specifically, like, we can secretly pass the original person's name in the custom redirect to know who was that person who forwarded and invited that new prospect, to potentially maybe reward them later on. And then additionally, based on this small form that they capture, we can then invite or forward the same email to that new prospect to inform them that, their friend just recommended them, and B, ask them again and win them as loyal subscriber with another double opt-in if that's required based on the country you are in. And here, obviously, I'm giving you the technical steps that you should do to accomplish this solution. And then tracing social media. So that's, again, a very, very interesting topic. And a lot of times, and with Pardot, we know that we can connect Pardot by default with Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, but there are some limitations. Like, for example, you cannot @mention somebody in the Twitter from within Pardot. You can't post like multiple images or multiple or even like videos at all from these social interactions. But what we then must do in every case, whenever we are actually posting anything on social media, we need to become very, very strategic on using Pardot custom redirects and assign them to each specific new campaign that we are creating in Salesforce, because I believe anything and everything that you do or post on social media and it gets public eye needs to be tracked. And this is the way, again, how you will be able to know how effective your marketing actions are how effective is a specific time, date, manner, language, image that actually you're creating to know and to know. And in the end of the day, whenever we're actually creating and posting something, we always need to have a goal and vision in our mind, how we can convert that person, how we can actually know that that person viewed, that it mattered to them. And we can only know that if they're physically brought to a landing page that was obviously very, very appealing offer for them in the first place to actually click on that link and get there, and B, that our landing page was boom, it sparked an interest and it gave them a lot of value, and because of that value they were actually eager to then give us their details further. And then finally, another use case that I want to discuss is obviously being as clever, potentially asking for help, seeking professionals, because the more internal apps you will be able to connect and automate in the floor, in your marketing flow, the smarter you will become, and the more obviously money you will be able to generate for the business. So again, we're talking about being clever, about working together with your IT team by being actually also immersed and curious on starting to use all these various tools and apps that can help us to learn more. And obviously these tools can be Zapier, connecting maybe some new multiple I don't know, apps that you have. It can be API, it can be Hotjar to actually start having these heat maps on your website and see where people struggle the most, which buttons they click, where they struggle. So all of these things can really help you to learn more, because the goal for every marketeer and in general person is we need to invest in our success, right? And we need to invest time to set Pardot properly up. We need to invest time when we are creating campaign, and not only creating visuals, but we also create that backend of the campaign that can track that campaign. And also, I mean, whenever we're talking about technology, we need to invest in the tech that we use and how it's set up to make sure it's actually, I mean, giving us the value and giving us even more reasons to want to use this technology. And how I like to think about in general about the whole marketing aspect and everything that we do, I always think about it as job, right hook, job, right hook. Like, I mean, it can be like a boxing game or something, but whenever you're actually creating something that will see a public eye, we need to always make sure there is a hook, there is a value in the end that will convert that prospect. And that means always giving value. It can be in the form of a webinar, of a white paper, unlocking video, discount code. It might be like a 30 minutes call with the best sales expert you have. Whatever is that your business is in, you need to always, whenever you're creating something, there needs to be a hook, because it's better less, but there's a quality, rather than we're just going on all the social platforms, we're blasting, but then in the end of the day, we're actually not knowing, so what brings the results, what brings the money, where the prospect came from. And I mean, and I'm sure because you decided to purchase Pardot and Salesforce, that was obviously probably on your mind. I want to have this smart tool to be able to track my prospects properly, to be able to track my email templates, who clicked, who didn't, who unsubscribed, who bounced. What else can I do to improve my marketing? And then I guess working together as a team. And now the second part of the presentation is obviously solutions for Salesforce. Not only we're setting up Pardot, but we're connecting Pardot to the major core plugin CRM that we have, and that's the powerhouse called Salesforce. And in Salesforce, what now out of the box you can start utilizing, and I'm sure you already are obviously Salesforce connected campaigns. It's already, I would say, old topic back 2018. Salesforce campaign influence, that's a little bit newer, but obviously we want to know which were those campaigns that influenced our opportunities, right? And then additional add-on licenses we will need, but phenomenal features and outcomes that we can get is obviously also by using Pardot Engage emails, Pardot Engage for Outlook and Gmail, because I know some of you are probably still sending sneaky emails to prospects one-to-one through Outlook and Gmail, and with those you can send them actually Pardot email templates from within your Outlook or Gmail. Pardot Engage alerts, Engage reports and dashboards that are actually very, very insightful and B2BMA. And the first thing that I want to talk about is obviously your opportunity to view reports and all your marketing efforts in Salesforce. And we should at this point be working together with our Salesforce admin to add these engagement components on your campaign, on your lead, and contact page layouts, because when you do, you get extremely great insights with whom, what, and how many times clicked, for example, on your emails, specific links, and campaigns. The same thing you can also do for the account. So on the account level, by placing these built-in reports and dashboards, you will see how the whole company and how all contacts and leads from that company engage with your business, actually interacted with you. That can again give you, if you're into B2B specifically business, can give you a hot identifier for all of your sales team that this is the account that they should focus on, because they really looks like need us to help. And then another thing is obviously you can create then additionally engagement report types to then start reporting separately on all your list emails, landing pages, forms, links, and campaigns to know which is doing better, and in general to understand in total how your campaigns are doing. And then Sercante team also have developed a brilliant automated opportunity contact role app that will help you additionally automatically assign all your contacts who impacted the opportunities further in your reporting in general. Then the next bit that I want to talk about is the campaign influence on opportunities. So we as marketers, we all the time, we kind of spend a lot of times obviously creating all the campaigns, all the nurturings, all the beautiful visual stuff that is going out there. And then further, we're kind of handing it all nicely to all the salespeople, and what actually Salesforce admin can set up to help further the salespeople and then the higher management to know and to see is to have this campaign influence, where you can additionally also set some time frames, specific time frames, and the maximum number of how long each campaign can actually influence that specific opportunity and relate that to your ROI. And also that information can always be added and visible for your sales team and other employees on the record itself, so you in real time actually see what is happening in the business. And then bringing clarity to your sales team, because I think a lot of times teams can be disconnected. I know now it's even more special time in the world when we're sitting kind of all on our in our own home offices, so it can be even more challenging to kind of communicate. So with Pardot Engage feature functionalities, we can also let our sales team to be fully equipped and send one-to-one emails or one-to-many emails from within Salesforce records inside Salesforce. So that means not even needing them to go to Outlook or Gmail. As they work on a lead or on a contact or on that campaign, they can straight away navigate and send a list email, or add them to the list, or add them to the engagement program from that record. And basically, based on their call or interaction that they had, they can already act and be there to, I guess, speedy proceed and move the process of the sale or marketing further. And again, here are the steps that you can follow to add all these components on your page layouts, on your list views, to set up all these buttons. And if you are a new user of Pardot, I think and I believe you should potentially maybe add all of the options that are out there to see what is actually best working for your business and what you find effective. Because with time, if you see and feel there are buttons and use cases that you're not using, you can always remove them. But I mean, it's kind of sad if there is something great that, I mean, you're potentially not using by not adding it in the first place. Then the Gmail and Outlook. Obviously, for many, many years, it has been mystery that we carried somehow out that communication from our CRM or marketing tool to our private Gmail and Outlook. And then when we, I don't know, changed the jobs, changed the role, or somebody got ill, then, I mean, nobody knew what was actually happening with that lead for all that time. So now with Pardot Engage, you can have also the Pardot functionality and trackability inside your Gmail and Outlook. You can utilize your Pardot email templates from within these mailing tools. From within these mailing tools, you can also create a new task in Salesforce. You can do another pings. You can actually, from within your Gmail or Outlook, you can look up if this lead or a contact or account exists and make any necessary updates. So again, Pardot actually kind of never leaves you, if I can say so, because all the platforms that you are using and where you can be interacting and tracking anything, kind of Pardot actually made sure that it's there for you when you need it, if that makes sense. And the same thing, if we now go back inside Salesforce, we have the real-time engagement dashboards that every sales team and salesperson can set up for themselves. And sales teams can set up the filtered lists that will appear on their big screen in real time. And depending on the metrics they're interested in, it can be page views, file downloads, some paid search, some specific maybe paid highly qualifying campaigns, or just search, or maybe like some key hot forms, inquiries, maybe some webinars, events, one-to-one email open. So this is actually a great one. In real time, you can have a column where you see in real time that somebody opened your one-to-one email. You just send them from within Salesforce or maybe your Gmail. And then again, based on the territory, so salesperson most of the times can't cover the whole country. They usually have their own specific territory. So you can actually segment your prospects that you're dealing with based on the country and state you are actually based in. So again, Pardot Engage functionality. And from my perspective, this was obviously tons of content that I tried to, download and share with you in quite a short time. I will now quickly jump into share screen. Yeah.
All right. So they've this part of the video they already went for Q&A. So we'll stop at this point so we can have our own Q&A. Let me just switch my video back on. All right. So just some key thoughts on this video. Just some key thoughts on Pardot. Basically, this is the second person that I've heard talk about Pardot and the ROI that marketing brings to organizations. Kasi tayo, we always look at technology, we're into solution architecture, but there is this other world of marketing where there really is money. People, organizations spend millions to promote their brand, to promote their organizations. And that, I believe, is the niche of marketing technologies such as Marketing Cloud and Pardot. They boost the visibility of these organizations online. So, okay, any thoughts? Anyone would like to go on? You can unmute if you have any thoughts, anything at all that you picked up from that talk. Feel free to share. You may unmute yourselves. Do you have that ability to unmute yourselves? Kaya naman yata, no? I've got a chat. There's a chat. Cannot unmute. Okay, wait. Wait, sir. Let me find out where that setting is. Sorry, let me just check. Uh-huh. Let me just